YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. We're going to be doing some comparisons tonight, okay? On the top, we do have a 77-inch Sony A95L. This is a TV that is a quantum dot OLED released in 2023, and Sony has made the executive decision to invest in it being its flagship OLED TV for 2024, okay? On the bottom, we have the 2024 all-new Sony Bravia 9. This is in 65-inch down below. Above is a QD-OLED. Below is a QD Mini-LED, okay? So totally different technologies, okay? You're going to have definitely way more peak brightness coming out of the Mini-LED on the bottom. And the top is going to give you pixel control infinitely, okay? On a pixel level, blacks are going to truly be perfectly black, okay? So some interesting things here. Let me set you up for video expectations. To begin, the way that I got this set up going is through running my Denon receiver, okay? The receiver has two HDMIs out, which works perfect because I was able to run the initial to the Sony up top and then a secondary to this down below, okay? And so it gives me a pretty good one-to-one. Now these TVs are both set identical. And when I say identical, I mean really we got the same settings. There's one setting that's off on one or down on one that's not as much as up on the other one. And yeah, so pretty interesting so far, just letting the screensaver for the Apple TV run. In any event, try to enjoy this video, show some support, like, comment, share, subscribe. We're going to get it going right after this intro. All right, so welcome back to the channel. At this point, we're just gonna go ahead and go to some settings on both of these TVs, okay? Strictly gonna be focused on picture settings. Let's go down to picture, and we will see that they're both set on the cinema preset. You go over to professional, of course it makes them a little bit darker. Looks good actually, because there's some other settings that you can fine tune for that. So if you felt like, you know, the one on the bottom is, I don't know, clipping or something, or, you know, for the camera, they both look nice and dark right here. But we'll play on the cinema. Okay. Let's just look at the brightness. SDR is at max on the A95L. And it's at 35% on the B9, okay? Contrast, SDR is at 90 on both. Gamma SDR, you know, you can see what it is. Black levels, same. Black adjust, same. Advanced contrast enhancer, same, medium. There's obviously going to be an auto local dimming for SDR feature that exists on the bottom B9 that does not exist on the top, because it does have a you know, local dimming zones such. So that's set on medium. This is out of the box stuff, guys. Out of the box. So going a step down, we do have this set off, right? You can see the difference. If I turn it to medium, it gets way brighter, and it's already brighter with it being off. So, you know, just so we can kind of know that peak brightness is there, man. It hits really. Color, again, all this stuff is just, this is pretty much just out of the box. I just kind of reset these things. The only thing I changed was color temperature, really. Color set at 50. The hue's where it is. Live color is turned off. And the temperatures on Expert 2. You can do 1. You can do warm. You can do neutral. This is not a settings video, so you can cry me a river if you want in the comments about turn this or that on. This is a comparison video. They both are going to be essentially even Steven, just for me to make some talking points and show some content, okay? You get the idea. Everything is set the same, and this is what you get just looking at a screensaver on the Apple TV 4K. Let's move right along. All right, man. So who doesn't love X-Men 97? I don't know who wouldn't love it, okay? So immediately, one of the biggest opportunities you're going to see, and I know that this can be adjusted with some type of color changing, but again, let me do this for the out of the box, more or less, people. You do get more of a pinkish magenta-like tint over the QD-OLED versus a white OLED or an LED like this. So your whites are going to be more pure on the TV on the bottom. Listen, much more on purpose. What am I looking at? Let's look at the play button on the left. This is Disney Plus, by the way. I do have this on Plex also. And then that explosion of them essentially bursting through the sheet or whatever that background is. That's explosively white. Now you can turn things up on the A95L, but I just kind of wanted to just do a default setting with this thing. The B9 looks pretty good. When I look at like the black, one of the biggest concerns that I know people have is like blooming. And I don't really have a way to zoom this in on both to make it look perfect or anything like that. So we're trying to keep it fair. I don't notice any real blooming with the play button around the black. Okay, again, this is Disney Plus. So if you're familiar with the way that their user interface looks, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay. That white on the bottom for the play button is definitely blinding. I read a comment, someone said something about, a physician said something about what we might perceive as blooming is not blooming. And I wish I could remember the comment. I got to go back through the videos and see if I can find that comment. But it made a lot of sense, and it made me want to do some research to what he had to say. But it's like, the white is so blinding, it looks like it's blooming, but it's not blooming, right? Looks really good. Of course, we know it's perfect on the QD-OLED. The science behind an OLED is that you just know that your contrast is going to be flawless on a pixel level just because of what it is. With the LED, you're always going to have that second guess of, am I seeing blooming? If it's not, etc. I don't know. But let's see if we can get a little bit of this content running so we can just look at some video. Let me mute this so I don't get myself in too much trouble. Boy, beast. Look at that boy beast, man. I don't know. What do y'all think, man? Man, listen, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking right now is I wouldn't mind having this B9 in 85 inch. I ain't going to even BS you. I'm not going to even play with you, man. I wouldn't mind having it in 85 inch. I wouldn't mind. Huh. Let's keep it going. Ooh, that boy Remy. This is why people be tripping out about brightness, man. I ain't gonna even hold you up. All right, so we got a little bit of this episode running. I don't know what kind of amount of content I can play. I don't even know if I've already went so far to where it'll be a copyright issue, but yeah, man, looks good. I'm just gonna leave this still here for you guys to be able to evaluate, what your thoughts are. This is obviously a cartoon, and so I feel like you appreciate how bright this TV is, this B9. And you know what, I was gonna do gaming first, but I've done 2 videos and I've shown some gaming content, and I decided, hey, let's make this about more some TV, some movie, that type of stuff. Yeah, it looks really good. So one thing I can notice, like I was just talking about in a couple of transitions ago, that pinkish tint, which looks good on a QD-OLED. It's not something you ever notice unless you're really looking at something that's next to it. So just even like the skin texture of the reporter, just looks a little bit more pink here versus, it doesn't. It's more like a yellow color on him down below. But they both have that color pop, that punch is there, but it's just, that brightness kicks through and it helps to elevate it. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys, I am sitting in my sweet spot, right? And the B9 is a little bit closer, probably 2, maybe 2.5 feet closer than what the A95L is, and it helps with the comparison, gives it that 3D look just looking at both the TVs. But you know, I'm probably a good 10 feet from the B9, couple of more feet back from the A95L, because I'm actually sitting on the edge of the seat. And you know, I spoke about the black bars when I was doing the first video of this, and I did the sample of Ghost of Tsushima, and I talked about how, you know, I could see some blooming with the black bars, and that doesn't look to be present right now. So I just wanted to kind of clear that up. So I'm gonna move on to some other content. This is X-Man 97. Let's take it to some old content, man. SDR at that, right? This is the practice. Let me mute this first of all, and I'm gonna pause this in a second. Boom, let's pause it right here. So this is on Plex. You know, this content is not at all in any type of, you know, extra high quality. This is the old stuff, the vertical black bars. It's 480p, so kind of is what it is. And I've watched pretty much all of this show, all 8 seasons, between the A95L and the A95K. This was literally a binge watch back and forth between my living room and my bedroom, because that's where I have those QD-OLED TVs at. And I mean, I'm looking at it on this TV. It looks good, man. This is competitive, dude. Like, I don't understand, man. You know, people get to saying like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm not sitting here saying that any LED is going to be able to compete, but I think that the B9 is a bad boy, man. I think it's a great TV, especially for people that are real out of the box type of people. Now, all the fake, you know, extra experts or whatever, man, let them talk. The people that actually spend cash on these types of TVs, you know what I'm saying, who just want to, you know that they've got a great product out of the box and that they can, you know, mess with some presets, man. I think you'll be really happy with this thing. This is, of course, in no way like sponsored content, you know, not sponsored by Sony or anybody else, but pretty good stuff here. Let me see if I can roll this a little bit more, just so we can get this content playing. Okay, we got a lady on there. We got the freezer for a lady. So tell me what you think. Again, this is the practice. They both look sensational in person. I would still watch the A95L for the simple fact I got it in the 77-inch. You talking about cropping my screen? I want the biggest screen I can get. But that aside, man, the details, the highlights, I mean, the contrast where her hair is actually darker than what her jacket is. Her jacket is black. That's not gray. That's black. But her hair is obviously probably dyed. I don't know if she's a natural black, head woman or not. But that looks good. And then the gentleman, I'm assuming that's a man behind her to the right, even though he's, physically, faded out. To add more depth to her, it looks like he's wearing some type of a dark colored vest, as well as his hair is dark. So from a contrast perspective, this looks good. There's definitely more brightness coming out with her collar. When you look at her shirt, the blouse she's got on, the left of it is brighter than the right. That's on both TVs, but it looks brighter on the bottom. So there is some more on purpose brightness. And hell, even me looking at the mute sign on both of these TVs, the mute sign over there to the left is brighter on the bottom than it is on the top. So the brightness is very much on purpose, even on areas where it's black. And again, sitting at the distance that I'm at, I don't see any blooming. Could there be some minimum blooming? Probably. But the whole point of the technology of this TV is to hide it very well. And so far, it has done it very well. This is the Count of Monte Cristo. Great movie, sensational movie. I wanted to show this movie, this particular scene right here. Very dark. I'm sorry, didn't mean to back out of there. Very dark. And I wanted to try to get this. Okay, that's a little bit better. So not the cleanest still, but good enough, I think. Just something for us to look at. to see if I'm missing anything. I don't feel like I'm missing any detail in the black area. Specifically, if you're looking at the top right of the corner. So like, let's look at the older guy, right? You see where his eyebrows are at? Go directly right and then go up north, right? In that area, you know, you can obviously see there's gravel, and then there's this light piece of gravel. And above that, you can kind of see some, you know, I don't know. You can see all of the inconsistencies of that concrete work, if you will. That's the best way I can think to label it, right? But I can see that I can see it on both TVs the same, right? So it's not like it's crushed on one versus the other. Like, I can actually see that. And then all the way to the top left on the other screen, I can see all of the detail on both of them. So, and again, this is from a distance, right? So I don't know how well this will articulate through the camera, and then through YouTube. This is, of course, shot in 4K 60. I'll try to get this up as soon as possible so that by the time it hits you guys, it's in HDR. Even though this content right here is not high dynamic range, let me just play a little bit more of this scene. This is a great movie, man. This is a great steal right here, too, in my opinion. You guys got to tell me what you think. All right. I'm for sure not finna play with these people and their money on this movie, though. Like, you know, this is all Sony, and people be like, oh, man, you're a shield or whatever. Hell, I'm not finna run this Sony movie because I know what it's going to be. But I definitely wanted to try to show you guys this just to let you be the judge of this. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. What you think of that quantum dot technology? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? If this is available in HDR, you can turn it on. I don't know if it'll help, whatnot, but looking for some feedback. All right, guys, so let's bring some conclusions to this particular video. How about you guys leave me some suggestions on some content you might want to see? I do have, you know, this is Plex, so I have a Plex server. And, you know, I'm very much so enjoying what we've got going on here so far. Bringing this content to try to entertain and maybe to help answer some questions. As of right now, I can't tell you, you know, hey, buy one TV, buy the other. That's not really what this is about. But what I can tell you is that watching some content on this, just, you know, skimming through, you know, this is exciting. This is really exciting, man. For a person like myself, you guys just don't even know, man. Like, you know, all these years I just been copping OLEDs and OLEDs and OLEDs and OLEDs. And, you know, we got some badass LEDs also, just like this one down here on the floor. But, you know, this is impressive. This is why I went after the B9, just because I wanted to try something different, you know. Somebody says they got something new, something innovative. It's like, hey, you at least want to give it a try. You know what I mean? Again, you know, not to compare. I don't have a G4 to compare for you guys. So I keep seeing comments about compare G4. I'm not finna buy a G4 just to compare it. You understand, like, how much that would, you know, diminish my integrity on what I do? Like, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not finna buy it just to compare. I'm not buying both TVs to set them shits up for a month so I can make videos and nah, man, nah, we're not doing that. But this is what we got, man. So let me know what y'all think. Please leave some support, share. You know what I'm saying? We getting it out the mud, man. We doing it on our own. It's independent. Like, comment, you know what I'm saying? Let's have some engagement. I think the Bravia 9 is a cold TV. The A95L is still the king, man, for sure. It's an OLED, so you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's just like I said, psychologically, you're going to know at the pixel level, you have the complete control. But this TV down below, man, it gives us some new things to look into, man, and it doesn't look bad at all. So anybody that's just saying that, hey, man, listen, that's on them. But we talking ownership here, you feel me? So I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, God bless, and as I always say, man, max love.